Looking at the woman on the ground who looked exactly like herself, she suddenly realized she had been dead all along. What was even more bizarre was that her corpse had been dressed up as a bunny girl, yet she could still feel everything so clearly. Even the sharp pain in her abdomen felt so real. She desperately waved at the police for help, but no one could see her. It wasn't until the officer lifted his protective mask and confirmed the body had been dead for 3 days that she finally accepted the fact of her own death. The crime scene investigation revealed this was not the primary scene of the crime. Drag marks on the floor indicated the body had been moved here from elsewhere. After completing the investigation, the 2 officers decided to continue their inquiry at the deceased's home. She anxiously tried to follow the police car, but found her hand pass right through the door. After several failed attempts, she simply walked through the car body and sat in the back seat. Back at her familiar home, the police discovered a laptop on the table. Email records showed a contact named Carrie had been sending frequent messages recently. That was her best friend. When Carrie learned of the tragic news, tears immediately streamed down her face as she blamed herself, saying she should have stopped her from going camping alone, which led to this tragedy. Watching her friend cry, she suddenly felt sharp abdominal pain, and the chandelier began flickering constantly. Realizing this connection, she had a brilliant idea and tried to control the light bulb with her mind to send messages to the living, but no matter how hard she tried, the lights remained completely unresponsive. When the officer asked about any suspicious individuals, Carrie mentioned her recently broken up ex-boyfriend. She immediately jumped up excitedly, convinced he was the culprit, and rushed all the way to the bar where he worked, hurling curses at him. Unfortunately, no one could hear her. When the police questioned the ex-boyfriend, he pulled out his phone and showed selfie records and location tracking from the night of the incident, proving he had been with his new girlfriend the entire evening. Furious beyond measure, she charged forward and gave him a hard shove. Unexpectedly, the ex-boyfriend actually stumbled backward. In that moment, she had an epiphany. Intense emotions could allow her to briefly interact with reality. With the case still making no progress, she decided to investigate the clues herself. She followed a bearded male officer as he left the station, only to discover he was just going home to his wife. Frustrated, she jumped directly onto the police car and actually managed to start it. She drove home alone and began searching for any trace of evidence. The next day, she returned to the police station and found the case was still at a standstill. In her anger, she swept her hand across the desk, actually knocking all the items to the floor. In the file room, she noticed a female officer who had organized her case files with exceptional detail. Returning home, she continued pursuing leads. Finally, in an inconspicuous old photograph, she discovered a crucial clue.